The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too.
Well, one of the things that I have some friends in the industry, they like to use Lightroom and nothing but Lightroom to do their video editing. They're not doing very much. They're trimming, and then they want to send it off to an automated system like ProShow Web or a template-driven system like MoveWire that takes and puts their final product together, because they're often mixing stills in with their video. Is there any plan at all for a Lightroom version?
Not right now. Eventually we'd like to get there. They don't really have a proper plugin API, so it's a little bit more difficult to develop for Lightroom.
Got it.
We have the Aperture version, we have the Photoshop version, we have versions for probably 6 or 7 different video applications at this point.
Right.
But that's mostly because they all support plugin APIs, and we're a plugin developer, so that's easy for us. Lightroom's a little bit trickier, but we'd like to get there. It's definitely an important application, and we'd like to support it. So hopefully that will happen, sometime in the near future.
Yeah. I guess I see it being maybe used more and more with the whole hybrid movement. And
Right.
the drill there is, don't make hybrid any harder than it has to be. So just because you're adding video and audio to your stills doesn't mean that you should have to go out and learn Final Cut, even though some of us are doing that. And so I guess I see Lightroom as being a place where, even for me, once in a while, if all I'm really doing is trimming and sending, I don't necessarily want to go into Final Cut. So keep that one, under your cap, and see if you can. Maybe you need to just convince Adobe that they need to make a better plugin API. I'm sure they'll listen to you.
Yeah. No, we've been bugging him for a while, and we'll get to it eventually. But it's interesting that so many people are doing video in Lightroom. I hadn't really thought about that. So.
And I never did either as a still photographer. It really came up as I moved more and more into hybrid and started asking others who were there already or moving with me, what are you doing with your video? How are you trimming it? How are you treating it? And more people were saying, well, when I can, I do it all in Lightroom because that's where I live anyway. And it surprised me too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing video, especially if you're applying effects, like Beauty Box or other types of very video centric type things, I think you do have to start thinking about getting into some sort of video editor, even just learning the basics. I'm not, it doesn't really take all that much to learn the basics of video editor. Certainly if you really want to get into it and cut a feature film or something like that, then that's different. But if you're just looking to trim stuff or whatever, it's actually not all that hard. And if you're doing video type effects, you're probably better off doing them in a proper video application.
And that's a great spin on it. It's obviously where I'm at, but then I'm also doing video logs and some other things. I'm doing some corporate work that's a little more video intensive. And so Beauty Box and I were made for each other in that regard. And I'm using Final Cut because I can't do everything I want to do in Lightroom. But there are going to be some, I don't want to call them lightweights, but lightweights in terms of video editing. They don't need more. Not that they can't do more, but that they don't need more. And I'm just hearing more and more often, I'm doing it the simplest place I can. I'm doing it the place where all of my files come in directly off of my camera or my card. And Lightroom, of course, is huge that way. So I just thought I'd throw it out there and put you on the spot. And it worked. Well, I want to thank you for being with us today and tell you that I really appreciate you taking the time. And hopefully we'll have some opportunities to do some more work once I get version 3 up and running and maybe play with some of the presets. It might be worth me making some samples and then us getting together for you to comment on them and maybe even give me some pointers how I could do it better.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're definitely going to be coming out with more presets, which will just be uploaded, or you can download for free eventually. So that's one of the things we do plan on doing in terms of new features, is just kind of continuing to add different presets. So
Well, that's cool. Did you keep the ugly preset?
yes, we did. The ugly preset is now called. There's two versions. There's also a witchy version that gives you green skin, so you can be the wicked witch from the Wizard of Oz there.
Oh, I love it.
And of course we have the free ugly box filter that you can download from the website, which is for After Effects and Final Cut Pro. So if you're interested in making your friends, family, and associates look ugly, we have a filter for that.
And on that happy note, I'm going to let you go. Hang on just a sec.
All right.
And let's see. It's
The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too.